Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
Rock Legion.
So down to the QB zone today. I'm very excited for this episode. This is a very special episode. This is not one of my usual episodes that I have planned for the season. However, this is very special because this is my virtual book release social. I specifically invited each and every last one of you because you are very much special to me in this process in some way, shape, or form. You have impacted me in some way. And so instead of making this a public invite on Facebook, I want to invite each and every one of you privately. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is read two of the poems, and then I will get into how the rest of our program will go. We had two videos, but technical difficulties. So what I'm going to do, I can just post them on Facebook, and I'll tag you guys so you guys can see them later. This piece is entitled "Before I Let Go." I want to learn who I really am. Those who experience the unusual must be willing to endure the uncomfortable. Unusual, the other side of uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, the filter weeding out the strong from the weak, serious from fake, determined from impulsive. What is my avenue to what's unusual for me? The unknown, the forgotten. I've let go on what's uncomfortable, hindered evolution, tainted joy, cheapened growth, warped reality, disguised motivation, deceitful, unproductive mantras. Hurt people, get them before they get me. I've missed out on destiny, the unusual, because of my usual. Was it too far from the cross? Lost my crown. Visits grave, lost resurrection. Lessons lost because I let go. I needed to persevere. Wrong decisions made. I released things I should have kept. Locked wisdom. I quit and wasn't right. A reason to quit doesn't equate a right to. Can't see it, but feel it. Something speaking, don't quit, don't give up, don't walk away. Is my perseverance that strong? Being a blessing to others, where has it gotten me? Covering others, accomplished that. Kept secrets, smiles on their faces. Walking the straight and narrow, focused, secluded, dedicated, and consistent. I'm at the edge, feet dangling over, one instant away from putting the end at the end of my story, long before its destined conclusion. Mind in the blender on low, heart sauteed by what he's allowed, ignored while flagged, unanswered smoke signals. Am I at the crossroad between unusual and uncomfortable? Lacking wisdom to know the difference. I just need someone to write the vision. I just need someone to make it clear. That was that one. This next one is probably one of my more, thank you, Jakira, one of my more instant read personal pieces. Um, it's called I Buy Out. Oh, there you go. I Buy Out. It was dark and I searched for you. I prayed to you, called for you, cried out to you. I heard nothing. 25 hours in the day, 2 years of constant hell, choking on fears, despairs, tears, yet still could have been worse. You're present, but you're quiet, looking left and right. Obviously, you're present. Why won't you answer me? Why won't you rescue me? I fasted. I told people about you. Changes made, growth initiated, crowd shrunk, relationships cease and desist, relationships quality increase. Love myself. Negligence no more. Fed myself with you daily, good or bad. I praised you. 3 years suffocating. Why haven't I heard from you? Why haven't you rescued me? I'm not ungrateful. I'm selfish. I'm unworthy and afraid. No ideations, but I don't want to be here. She's stronger. They're fine without me. They'll heal better than I can. I heal others, but can't heal myself. I just want to hear from you. Rescue me. Or finally, my encore has one final reprise. A round of applause. My last curtain call. Y'all can have all this shit. This passion, these goals, these problems, these burdens, these dreams, this life. I don't hear nothing about no damn strength, comeback, or what you see in me. It's all a day late and a dollar short. The Ramon that you've known, the me that you've experienced, the I that you've loved has been dead for some time. No time wasted with the funeral, cremated. Where are the ashes? I signed an NDA with my soul. Lips are sealed. Am I, he, me really dead, or has dead weight been shed? Do I know the difference? Have shackles been broken? Have I been broken, born, and turned so that my heart, mind, and soul could get some much needed surgery? I honestly don't give a damn what it is. One thing for sure, two things for certain. My mind needs rest. My soul needs peace. I just want my heart to smile again. So bags packed, paperwork signed, cut fresh, tape tight, dreads put up, headed to the place, headed to perform one last time. On my left, you whispered reverse. On my right, you whispered, you're no more, nothing left to give. The left did not win. The right consumed me. It spoke to my mind. I walked in, stood out front and center, reminiscing. It left me. It touched me. I don't know what or who it was. Relief. Load as heavy, broken-hearted pieces moving. My heart connected to something I'd never experienced. Transformation, destination, release flowed for me. The left and right got louder. Pills and liquor awaited me. On the other side of the wall, I've done all I can. I give up. Never been a quitter, but I'm content with being one today. Notifications given. I walk closer to the wall. Resolution a few feet away. Stopped in my tracks. This feeling pulled at my heart. Waterworks have been flowing over 30 minutes. A hand on my shoulder. A presence wrapped around me like a tornado. Change of plans. I visited trouble. Now I'm ready for it. Calmness in the air. Temperature change. No longer a tug of war I was losing. A connection with my heart upholding me. The journey and story not yet finished. This is my reprise. The last and only reprise. That doesn't mean there won't be a remix. I learned from the best. It's my business. It's my journey. I won't keep up and act. No games to be played. Life or death, one more push. The melody has finished. So I'm looking to you. Carry me forth. So those are those first two poems that I wanted to share. I'm stalling a little bit, so give me a second. Give me a second. So let me get into, I appreciate all the feedback. Like I'm looking at you guys' comments, so I really appreciate it. Icebox, Rebound, and Recovery. So why is this the title of the book? And I'll give you guys a short, because most of you guys really kind of know what I've been through the past few years. 2019, very dark, won't get into why. Grief was part of it. Losing my grandmother, at that time, it was already a very rough period. So it just made 2019 even worse when that happened. So fast forward into 2020, I thought things were getting better, things got worse. Things got very, very dark. From March of 2019 to December of last year, honestly, was a very, very dark place. And what made this year so different, I had a kind of breakthrough in December, and I'll share what that was. But however, I remember when I was going through a lot of stuff in 2020, people have listened to me, those of you who kind of knew what I was going through and knew about the writing, kept telling me I should journal, I should write. I'm like, I'm not fucking writing. I don't care about writing because I didn't care about anything, to be honest. I really didn't. You know, I went through unemployment. I had to go through one level of grief. Before I fully got through that one, I lost somebody else suddenly to gun violence. I was low key, kind of homeless, couch surfing. So it was a lot going on top of family drama. So I could have cared two craps about writing or any of that, right? So something kept pulling at me because I was at a point where I'm like, well, hell, I can try anything. Because like, what else do I have to lose? So I remember going, and it's in my car, but I remember going to Walmart. I said, let me try this writing crap, this journaling, because I never journaled. You guys know who have read my books. My first 3 books are about like sex, love, and relationships. So when you talk about like journaling my feelings, I'm not doing that. But I said I'll give it a try. And so I remember walking to Walmart, just looking for what kind of book or tablet I wanted to get. And it was this blue book, blue's my favorite color. And it just had the words "Be Happy" on the front. Maybe weird. I kind of thought of it as a sign. So I said, let this be my book to journal in, right? So I just started journaling. I just started writing my thoughts, writing how I was feeling. And I noticed how it was very, very helpful. And so as I continue to go through this process of being in a dark place, we're going through this process of becoming more comfortable with sharing. Because, you know, Shawnee and Jakira and some of you that have known me for Xandra have known me for a very long time, I don't necessarily share or open up and talk about what I'm going through. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed that my test can be other people's testimony. That may sound a little cliche, but a lot of times I've noticed that when I've shared things, when I've allowed people to love on me, I've noticed that I relate to people on a different level and people relate to me on a different level. And so I said, I need to do something with this information. I need to do something with everything that I'm journaling in this book. I had no intentions of it becoming a book, but I knew I needed to share it somehow. And so when I did my 4th book, Poetic Exhale, it literally allowed me to exhale. It literally was a breakthrough in my life. I even got Exhale a tattoo on my arm, and shout out to Shanice's sister who designed the tattoo. But it just spoke volumes to me. So I knew I was going to turn it into a book. The name, I felt like with everything I have been through, my heart was made of stone. My heart was cold. So that's why I got the icebox part from. And I did never foresee that it ever softening up or warming up. I just expected to have this hard shell because it was very traumatic. And, you know, not caring about yourself, not caring about nothing in life, going through life very numb. But as I allowed myself to submit to the process, as I allowed myself to come to terms with my new normal, and of course, do some prayer and therapy, I knew that I could rebound from what I've been through. And I was excited for what my recovery was going to look like. And so that's really where the title of the book came from. The book does start very dark because I was in a very dark place when I started writing it in 2020. The reason why it's so many poems is that because I want to show a process. I want to show a journey. So the book ends the end of last year where I started to be in a better place. One of the poems I'm going to read, the first 3 are kind of heavy for me, but one of the poems, I'm going to share something that I think only Shawnee knows about. I don't think I shared this with, I think Shanice's sister knows, but only Shawnee and Shanice, yeah, Shawnee and Shanice's sister knows. So I'm going to share something with you guys that was really the breaking point for me. So now that I got that out the way, before I get into all of this stuff with the poems, I wanted to do a giveaway. I wanted to just have a little fun first, lighten the mood. So the giveaway is going to be 2 things. One, the person who has the most points, it is going to be a gift card. The person who has the second most points is going to be signed copies of all 5 of my books so far. So I have a little Q&A. What I want you guys to do is just type your answers in the thing. Don't send them until all the questions are done, and then I'll go through to see who has the most points, right? So act like you're gonna send me a message and just type your answers, and then once we're finished, then press send, and then I'll go through it and let you guys know who's the winner. So everybody ready? Okay. Good. It's not gonna be long. I think I just got like 9 things to say. I'm just curious to see what people say. And because you all know me from different points in my life, different periods, some from work, some from school, some from back home, some because of my fraternity, some because of FIU, I tried to balance the question out. I don't want to make it so easy for, everybody who's, known me a long time. So when you answer most of these questions, think about the Ramon that you know. Think about my personality, the memories you have with me, and that's probably going to help you answer some of them. The first one is, what is the name of one of the books that I've written, except for the one that I just released? So clearly you know the name of that one. What is the name of one of the books that I've written? I have lived in 4 different counties in the state of Florida. Who can name at least one of them? It's okay, Jakira. Who can name at least one of them? If you can name more than one, you get an extra point for each one. I have lived in 4 different counties in the state of Florida. Who can name at least one of them? I'm curious to know who can name at least 2 or 3. The next one, and if you need to slow down, just let me know. Other than an author, name any other title or occupation that I have. Other than an author, name any other title or occupation that I have. When it comes, I love sports. I love all different types of sports, right? Specifically professional sports. I love everything Lakers and Cowboys. I love everything Lakers and Cowboys. But which one is my favorite team of all? Do I like the Lakers more? Do I like the Cowboys more? Which one is my favorite team of them all? Number 5. I have a big opportunity presented to me. But in order for me to receive it, I have to shadow one couple for an entire week. Which of these couples would Ramon choose? Kim Kardashian and Kanye, Offset and Cardi B, Dwayne and Gabrielle, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. I have a big opportunity. In order for me to receive it, I have to shadow one couple for an entire week. Which one am I going to choose? Kim and Kanye, Cardi and Offset, Dwayne and Gabrielle. And when this is all over, I'll tell you the winners. Which of these artists do you think I'm the biggest fan of? Which of these artists do you think I'm the biggest fan of? Ray J, Omarion, Mario. Ray J, Omarion, Mario. The following women are in concert on the same night, and I have tickets to each one, but I can only choose one. Which one am I choosing? Beyonce, Rihanna, Alicia Keys. 3 concerts the same night. I have tickets to all of them. Which one is Ramon going to choose? Beyonce, Rihanna, Alicia Keys. We got 2 more. If I had to take advice from any of the following rappers, if I had to take advice from any of the following rappers, which one am I choosing? Lil Boosie, Snoop Dogg, Kanye West. Which one would I rather take advice from? Lil Boosie, Snoop Dogg, Kanye West. The last one. Some friends and I are getting together for a vacation. Would I rather get with a few of them and go on a road trip to our destination or get on a plane and meet them there? Would I rather get with a few of them and go on a road trip to our destination or get on a plane and meet them there? So everybody can send me their responses. Everybody sent me their responses. Okay. I think I got everybody's. That's interesting too. I'm gonna get to that because I don't think you would know that one. Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly go through this. What is the name of one of the books that I've written? You have This is 69, the Crimson Edition, This is 69, the Color Haven, This is 69, the Greek Chronicles, and A Poetic Exhale. I have lived in 4 different counties in the state of Florida. They are Leon, Brevard, Miami-Dade, and my current one, which is Broward. Other than an author, name any other title or occupation that I have. You guys could have said social worker. You could have said podcast host. That's fine, city account. You could have said podcast host. Some might have said entrepreneur or philanthropist, anything like that. This is interesting. When it comes to the professional teams, Lakers or Cowboys, I was curious to know what people are going to say. It's actually Cowboys. The big opportunity. Which couple am I going to shadow? Kim and Kanye, Offset and Cardi, Dwayne and Gabrielle. The answer to that is Offset and Cardi. Yep, it's Offset and Cardi. Which of these artists do you think I'm the biggest fan? I don't think any of y'all would have thought I said Ray J or Omarion. It's definitely Mario. No way in hell I would have said Ray J or Omarion. I can't stand Ray J. So the following women are in concert: Beyonce, Rihanna, Alicia. Who am I going to see? Absolutely, without hesitation, I'm going to see Rihanna. That's not absolutely. The rapper that I would take advice from could care 2 craps about Lil Boosie. I think Kanye is of course, unless Janet is coming. You right, Xander. If Janet coming, I'm not even going to see my favorite gospel artist. Janet coming, I'm there front row and center. I can't stand Lil Boosie. Kanye West, think he's a genius, a little troubling, don't want advice from you. I'm absolutely taking advice from Snoop Dogg. And as far as number 9, do I want to do the road trip to the destination or get on the plane? I'm getting my ass on somebody's plane. I don't want to be stuck in, no, I'm good. I'm getting on the plane. So I will go through the answers and let you guys know who is the winner. So, good job, Bree. So let's go ahead and get this out the way and do these poems. If you have any questions, then please ask me any questions about any poem, my process, this book, please ask me anything. So, the first poem that I'm going to do, and if I talk slow, it's for a reason, because a lot of these poems, it's one thing when you read it out loud, it's one thing when I'm just reading to myself. So I don't know, and I didn't want to practice before this. I wanted to have authentic interaction with you all, authentic emotions, if those came about. So here we go. The first one is called Amanda. There's a wind that blows when I think of you. Overcome with lowliness and comfort, my spirit is bruised. My spirit is broken. You are always the wind beneath my wings. Your prayers saved me from afar. Your words made my heart sing and dance. Your love and teachings made my possibilities limitless. You are always my everything. You are always my heart. Lost and damaged, I'm in the middle of an intersection. I don't know which road to go down. Parent unit abandoned me and you neglected me. Parent unit abandoned me and neglected me. You stepped in and saved me. You did what was best. For that, I'm blessed. Success or failure, you didn't do anything that didn't have my best interest at heart. Broaden horizons, name brand labels, nurture talents. You upheld me when everything around me failed. When in the late night hour, trouble vexed me. Oh, somebody's in the radio room. Let me let her in. Welcome, Mika. I'm gonna go ahead and start this over because I don't want, since it's the first poem, I don't want Mika to miss it. This is called, as I stated, Amanda. There's a wind that blows when I think of you. Overcome with loneliness and comfort, my spirit bruised, my heart is broken. You were always the wind beneath my wings. Your prayers saved me from afar. Your words made my heart sing and dance. Your love and teachings made my possibilities limitless. You were always my everything. You were always my heart. Lost and damaged, I'm in the middle of an intersection. I don't know which road to go down. Parent unit abandoned me and neglected me. You stepped in and saved me. You did what was best. For that, I'm blessed. Success or failure, you didn't do anything that didn't have my best interest at heart. Broaden horizons, name brand labels, nurture talents. You upheld me when everything around me failed. When in the late night hour, trouble vexed me, you answered. Words soothed the hurricane inside, tornado of emotions. By conversations end, it was as if God himself spoke through you and said, peace be still. You were my guardian angel. You loved me, soothed me, bonded with me. A magnet couldn't make us any tighter. My bridge over troubled waters, my bridge over stormy seas of misfortune. You wiped my tears away, chased my doubts away. You introduced me to him. When my foundation was unstable, I had faith because you believed. Aware of how he kept me, your faith in him, my faith in you. Me, a version of a prodigal son. I never strayed too far from his still small voice. There isn't one thing I wouldn't be willing to give up to have you back. If God was willing to swap multiple candidates I could give him instead of you. You celebrated my accomplishments. You fed me and my heart's desire. My character and integrity, you molded and nurtured. Many times this body of mine let me down. You held my hand no matter how far. You remained by my side. Whenever I reached out to you, you were never not there. Past surgery, you were broken because you couldn't take the pain away. You helped carry my burdens. You helped carry my pain. Far from suicidal, I just don't want to continue with life. You died, a large chunk of me died too. The whole left still remains. I miss your smile. I miss our gossip. I miss the magic in your hugs. I miss the confidence your prayers gave me. I'm not doing well, Granny. Life is so hard without you. I still need you. I wish I could have done with you. I wish I could have gone with you. Nothing left for me to give. No longer happy or visited by joy. In the dead of night, I want to run away, searching and desperate for peace and healing. Looking in the mirror, unaware of who I see. At night, when the wind blows, I hear you call my name. I open myself, I prepare myself, longing for the moment you'll visit me, yet you haven't came. Having taught me well, having planted many seeds, I know at some point I'll flourish again. With half the faith and strength, I know this child again. Seeing the best touch my hand, made me untouchable, made me see a lot of truth, helps my dreams come true, while overflowing my life with joy. I am who I am because you love me. You never faltered, open-minded and strong, wise and grateful, a source of all things good. You are one of the few beings in a negative world. Rest, my queen. Rest on. You struggled, you prayed, you overcame, you fasted. You loved me unconditionally. You endured turmoil and struggle. Patience was born. It's the twinkle in your eyes. Both reassured there was an anointing that you possess. Purpose fulfilled, it was your time for you to go. Damaged yet optimistic, hurting but not giving up, guilty but his grace sufficient. When in those dark moments, something comes over me, assure me that you still got me. Many things I know, many things I do not. One thing I know for sure, I was blessed and highly favored. I was yours and you were mine. I remember heaven's wonder on your face, the love of God in your eyes. 79 years visiting this lowly place. Then you return to your home, way above the skies. So for those who don't know, Amanda is my grandmother. So this poem was really self-explanatory, how I felt about her. Um, how I felt when she left. And in a way, it was really like my love letter to her. Um, that's why I was a little lengthy. I had a lot I wanted to say, but yeah, it was really just my love letter to my grandmother and all the things I wanted to say to her. This next one is called When You Left. My heart broke, not the cliche kind, a pure manifestation of pain. Ripped my soul out of me. The sparkle in my eye left. The confidence your prayers gave me evaporated. I was lost. I am lost. A collage of people surrounding me. A soup of emotions. Some I forgot, some I could care less. Most I don't trust. Some rain love on me, reminding me, although you're gone, I'm not quite alone. You took a big part of me when you left. Regrouping, rebuilding. I've been broken down almost to nothing. Molded to be the better version of myself, the self you prayed for, the self you raised, the self you loved unconditionally. You rescued my soul, you rescued my being, angry as hell. Why couldn't he take other folk? I wasn't perfect, but I worshiped him. I prayed and prayed. I have progress Many bouts of sickness, multiple hospitalizations shook my life up. Yet I'd rather go through all of it a million times over than to have lost you. Than to have lost you, my soul, my heart. Still needed you so much. I know you're proud of me because you said it. I yet still know I have a lot of work to do. One foot in front of the other, I'm doing it. You're better off than me. Hell, I still take meds, you don't. You get to hear Whitney and Michael sing live, I never did. When MLK sent out boycott letters, one came to your residence. You cannot fellowship with him a million times over. I missed your cooking, I missed the magic in your hugs, I missed our group sessions. I can still hear you say I love you too, Ray. I didn't know everything. One of the many I do know, I was blessed because I was loved by you. I got the best parts of you while you were here. Others, you left materialistic stuff. Even in death, I'm still getting the best parts of you. Strength, presence, direction, calmness, protection. I'm a new me. I have a new normal. Not quite who or what completely that is. You knew what you were doing. I struggle with guilt. I struggle with wondering what your last thoughts of me were. Wondering if they were positive. Hoping you didn't have any regrets or what ifs. You did damn good by me. Don't doubt it for 1 second. I hope you didn't feel neglected. I loved you to the moon and back. I do believe you knew I was crazy about you. You knew you was number one before everyone. You planted seeds that grew and blossomed. Seeds that I didn't realize you had. Planted are blossoming and taking form now, you old crafty woman. You still feeding my handiwork, making sure I grow. Peace and calmness has elevated my breakthrough and shift. You brought me to Randolph and raised me. You sent me to Pelham and healed me. This was one of the pieces I did in 2020 when I started to have more of a realization of just submitting to the process and allowing myself to ride like a wave. It allowed me to kind of look at it from a different perspective. In the poem, when I talk about, just I got the best from her, other people got materialistic things, but I got the best, confidence and all those different things. The poem ends by saying, you brought me to Randolph Street and raised me. You sent me to Pelham and healed me. So when I was 8, my grandmother, my mom and I lived with my grandparents, which are her parents. And due to the issue that my mama had with them, she upped and moved us to Leon County, to Tallahassee. And that's where the traumatic period in my life started. My mother, boyfriend at the time, who's my sister's father, but my mom's boyfriend at the time, when I was in Tallahassee, he would beat me every day. I remember him feeling as if he didn't like really anything about me. I didn't talk right, I didn't sit right, I could do nothing right for this man. And so he felt the need that he was gonna be out of me whatever he saw in me. And so I would have to, he went to the I guess, athletic store and got these dumbbells. And I have to do different calisthenics every day. If I did not do the calisthenics, I got beaten. If I didn't address him properly, I got beaten. If he didn't like how I sit or did whatever, I got beaten. And when I say beaten, let's just put this in perspective. We're not talking about no belt and typical beatings that we probably have all had and needed. He would go and get a switch, but he would leave the limbs still poking out. So when he's beating me, they're cutting my flesh. And I would be bleeding all over, and he would force me then to sit in a hot tub. Where if you have open cuts and wounds, hot scorching water is going to make it worse. So I have to sit in the hot scorching water or I'll get beaten again. And I just remembered being 8 and 9 years old, looking up at my mom, wanting her to rescue me. My mom would stand there and watch this man beat me like this every day. Or she would go in the room and pretend it wasn't going on. And this went on for months. This went on every day for months. He ended up leaving my mom when she was 6 months pregnant with my sister. But then it's like she was taking out on me because now you're a single mom of 2 kids or 1.5. So fast forward the summer of whatever year I was 9 years old. My grandmother, because he had ostracized us from her family. My grandmother didn't know where we were, didn't have any contact with her, nothing. And so my grandmother, being the woman she is, she went and got her a private investigator. And she found out where we lived at. And I was only supposed to come back to Brevard County for that summer. And my grandmother always the kind of person where if something's in her spirit, she couldn't rest until she found out what was wrong. And so apparently she told me later on that she just had this feeling something wasn't right from the moment I got back to her house. And so one day I was changing clothes and I thought I had closed the door all the way. Well, I did it, or God made sure I did it. Because I didn't realize that while I was changing, my grandmother was standing at the crack of the door peeking in. And she saw the marks on my body. And of course, like any child, you're gonna laugh with your parents, you're gonna love your mama regardless, whatever. But my grandma, you couldn't fool Amanda. So she saw straight through the bullshit. And from then on, she kept me with her. A lot of people saw her as overprotective. A lot of people saw her as spoiling me at times. But no one knew that that was the hell she rescued me from. So when people probably wonder why you always talk about his grandma, or I wonder how his grandma came to be so close, because she saved my life. And a lot of people didn't know that. And that was a secret that we kept within me, her, and my granddaddy. We didn't tell none of the other family. We did not tell my uncles because they probably would have killed the man. And so that's why I say she brought me to 2130 and raised me. That's how she ended up raising me. But when I say that at the end, she brought me to Pelham and saved me, is because they changed the name of our street to Pelham Street. And fast forwarding to 2020, it was the first time I had came home since the funeral. I didn't know what I was doing in my life. I didn't know where I was going to live. Everything was all over the place. And I remember just feeling this nudge. Something was pulling at me to go back home. Like, I can't. Just the thought of going back to Brevard in 2020 just brought me so much anxiety. So things just got so bad down here, couch surfing and just not having no stability. So I packed my car up, drove back to Brevard County. And I'll never forget it. I walked in her house for the first time since the funeral. And this is going to be the first time I was going to be in her house by myself since she died. So I thought I was going to be a nervous wreck. I was going to be a mess. My uncle must have been there the day before or at some point recently. Because when I walked in, the light to the lamp where she usually sit at was on. Her Bible was open. And I just remember walking in, all that pain and trouble that I felt since she had died. It's as if peace just came over me. It's as if I felt her touching me and saying, everything's gonna be okay, Ray. Like she would do every time I came to visit her. And I just remember sleeping in her bed, and those few days in Brevard County, I just felt so renewed. I felt like I had transitioned to another level in my grief. And that's why I say I feel like she brought me to Pelham to heal me, because at that time, like I said, they had changed the name to Pelham Street. One of the reasons why I feel like I struggled so much with the grief, or never, or yeah, I'll just say that, struggled so much with the grief, is because I feel like that 9-year-old Ramon that she took and saved was scared. Because that 9-year-old boy in me never had closure. I knew I wasn't going to get no kind of acknowledgement or apology from my mom. That's a whole different story and situation. But this woman protected and did a damn good job by this 9-year-old boy. And he was afraid because Granny's gone. So now who's going to look after him? Ramon, the adult that's in his 30s, can't function and move forward because this 9-year-old boy is afraid and needs his closure. The reason why I say December of last year was a breakthrough for me. The man who traumatized me when I was 9 years old, I found out that he died. And I'm just gonna keep it real. I was so happy. It literally was as if a load left me, a load that I didn't know I was still carrying, just left me. Because this 9-year-old boy can now feel safe. This 9-year-old boy can now have his closure. And the 30-something-year-old Ramon can now really thrive and progress. And I feel like from that moment, that's why 2022 has been such an amazing year for me. Yeah, life is gonna come with ups and downs, trials and tribulations, but this has been the best year I have had in a long time. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I feel like I've progressed so much. So yeah, that's that little story. Unfortunately, you know, part of healing, sometimes you gotta recognize which relationships are not for you. So I haven't spoken to my mom in over a year. I don't have no desire to change that no time soon. I'll let God do what he wants to do with that relationship, but I have to protect Ramon and protect my peace. Yeah, and so that's that for that one. So I have one poem. It's actually called 2130. It's called 2130 Randolph Street. And this kind of continues from what the last poem talked about with Randolph. So here's 2130 Randolph Street. Oh, if 2130 Randolph Street could talk, they may have changed your name to Pelham, but you will always be Randolph to me. When I entered the world, you were my first home. I've laid my head many places, but you were always my home. A lifelong connection, predictable emotions, love, many lectures, many prayers, many worships, many praises, many gatherings, some pain, some heartaches, some very tough moments, rooted in unconditional love and unprecedented connection. She raised me here, my queen, my heart, my everything. I learned my voice, full transparency within those walls. No perfection, but dedication. He did his best, she did the rest, and did it all. Kept that ship together. I am because she was. I can because she did. Oh, 2130, I got a lot of weapons. Garage, my room, both living rooms. I've snuck in, I ain't never snuck out as a kid. All the land surrounding like my very own playground. As an adult, not perfect. Who really cares for perfection? It was always a safe place for me. Guarantees, love, sick with Crohn's at 13. I cried on her lap. I laid there. Didn't want to live. Stated I wanted to die. She held me in her lap, wiped away all my tears. She hated to see me hurt. She hated to see me in pain when I needed to rebuild. 2007 summoned me. many great meals and talks. We adored Kobe, Serena, and Brandon, watching them religiously, the nucleus for life existence. 2001, my body let me down. We didn't know what was wrong. What I did know is that I wanted her. What I did know is I wanted 2130 because that's where she raised. That's where she resided. At 2130, there was magical hugs. Truth telling, my foundation. I miss 2130. I will always miss 2130. When God took her, 2130 changed. In the midst of my loss and trauma, it deserted me. Anxiety. In the depth of my hell and pain, it healed me. One last time, 2130 upheld me. Her spirit wrapped itself around me, took me from me, what stalled my growth. At 2130, she always made things better. At 2130, I remembered to aid me and introduce me to my new normal. I don't know what the future holds. Some fear, lots of faith. Cheers to God. Cheers to Granny. Cheers to 2130 Randolph Street. I have not been back to 2130 since I left in 2020. That has to do with kind of family drama. 2130 was always a place where I could lay my head. It was home. And my grandmother always wanted that home to remain in the family. I want to apologize to Karina Jakira. It was hard for me to come to Brevard County and have to look for a place to stay and have to ask for a place to stay because this should have been my home. But because of an asshole and family drama, that home is no longer in my home. So when it comes to Brevard, I feel like a boy with no home. My home doesn't feel the same to me. So, you know, we were supposed to have well, not supposed to, but I was supposed to attend my 20-year reunion in June. And I love high school. I had great memories of high school. But just the thought that I'm coming back home to celebrate a period that all Joe I love, she was a big part of. And I ain't got no home. Just the thought of that, coming back to Brevard County and no longer being able to come to 2130, it just was too much for me at that time. You know, so I feel bad that I couldn't meet up with Karina and Jakira. I know you guys really wanted me to come. And I know I should have probably shared that with you, Karina, already. But yeah, that's where I was at. But you know, slowly but surely, I will be able to come to Brevard County more. It just wasn't for me at that time. I just still struggle with not having. It just feels weird that instead of me having a place to lay my head, I got to be searching for where I'm gonna stay and feel like I'm inconveniencing people. This one is called Lemon Squeeze. I have a few poems called Lemon Squeeze, but this one is called Lemon Squeeze Confessions. Confessions. A huge fan, but this ain't no Usher situation. Nothing salacious, nothing exciting, nothing messy nor revealing. A release. A moment of self-awareness. Outside of my head in therapy sessions, although I have been hurt a million times over, I've hurt others as well. Intent wasn't negative, no maliciousness. Hurt is hurt, and I am guilty of it. I've lied, stolen, betrayed, manipulated, never for personal gain, desperation, immaturity, no justification. I own it. All my life, I've been chasing something. All my life, I've been running away from something. I've run to drugs, alcohol, sex, to numb and hide pain, feeling angry, lost, unworthy. I never ran back to him first. I would run to anyone and anything that allowed me to be real, that allowed me to be my real self, the self I thought I needed to be. I've ran from family and actual real friends due to fear of judgment, neglect, unacceptance. Noises and thoughts in my head could get too loud. I'd run to anything to silence the noise. Hell, sometimes I still do all of the above. I've been through a lot of pain in my life. Death and abuse have visited me frequently. Physical abuse as a child, not the kind that leaves a welt, the kind that causes cuts and drippings of blood, the kind that leaves scars. I've been trusting the wrong people from birth to year 38, run into any kind of potential or anything I thought was love. Where did it get me? Victim of sexual assault as a minor, flashing lights, handcuffs as an adult, alone many nights, robbed, lied about, scandals, disappointed, cried enough tears to make me a personal lake, betrayed, abused, abandoned by family, used, abused, abandoned by friends, a multitude of negative experiences with frat. I got close to folks that I can say now I absolutely don't like. Some of them niggas in my frat, some of them in my family. Some have the privilege of saying I used to be their friend. Many of them, life could leave them. I wouldn't care for a second. Now, guarded with everyone breathing. Even the family, frat friends I adore. Listen, it hasn't all been bad. Growth, healed, party, some amazing times in my life. Forgiveness, self-love, self-acceptance, take me or leave me. Either way, success and achievement won't only be attached to my name. Deeply rooted in who I am. I have amazing friends, some closer than blood. Frat, multiple ones, huge motivators, supporters, and family. Relatives, rather consistent or not, plethora I appreciate and enjoy. No need for pity or sympathy. Love, respect, empathy is just fine. I'm in the midst of healing and evolution, elevating and growing, uncomfortable, at times a miserable transformation, essential, bumpy, receptive joy, I release it. Nothing I've just mentioned can control me anymore. A part of my story and journey, but it doesn't define me. Prayer, worship, hard work, giving me a rich vision made plain. Grandma's hands, spirit and love, peace, calm, clarity. I'm alive. I'm free. I'm fighting. I'm not knocked out yet. I'm focused. I believe. I can. I will. I am. So that's a part of the journey, like I stated towards the end of last year, where things became a lot more optimistic. This isn't as heavy and as some of the other half of the book is. And yeah, Kareen, I really had to learn that that part of my story doesn't define me. The mistake doesn't define me. The trauma doesn't define me. And so this was just a moment of confession. I'm not perfect. Hurt people. So I've definitely done that. And I just have one more poem. It's called My Invitation. So the last two poems in the book are like very positive and uplifting. This is called My Invitation. And this is really just a conversation from me to God. Because, this avalanche of seesaw of, just trauma and negative things absolutely affected me spiritually. Absolutely. But this is my invitation from me to God. Me submitting myself, me just wanted to let him be God and wanted to reconnect because I'm not heavy spiritually, but I absolutely was born and raised in the church. I was never forced to go to church. I enjoyed going to church. I enjoyed visiting other people's churches. Although I was born or raised Seventh-day Adventist, I would go visit Allen Chapel and Macedonia, Montmorry, all these other churches that we had in Brevard County. So yeah, I won't keep rambling, but this is called My Invitation. And this will be the last poem I do. And you guys can say or ask whatever question you want to ask. My Invitation. I never strived for perfection. Progression was my goal. It's clear I was never in control. No matter the changes, no matter the plans, no matter the growth, no matter the evolution, it was never enough. I never had the final say. I need a full audit. My multiple assessment clearly incomplete. I open my heart. I open my mind. I commune with you, spirit to spirit, an unending invitation to the deepest depths of my soul. Rooted in my transition position, I want to be blessed so I can bless others. Providing for self allows for a level of service to others. In your name, that gives me joy. I open my heart. I open my mind. I commune with you, spirit to spirit, an unending invitation to the deepest depths of my soul. You can give it to me. I have strength enough to use it. My request isn't for me alone, my village, my team, strangers. Let the connection flow from me. I have an inquiry, a new perspective. Some selfishness may be needed. He who keeps me can keep them too. I'm sustaining myself a top priority, obligation and objective. I have given more of myself to others than to myself, more of myself to others than to you. Over depleted myself for others. Got to my destination with nothing in the tank. I open my heart. I open my mind. I commune with you, spirit to spirit, an unending invitation to the deepest depths of my soul. I'm reversing the language so you can reverse my life. Where you're leading me, everyone can't go. Many don't want revelation, they want attention. Force, essential. Learn how to let folk in my life, not in my spirit. I could freaking give it right now. No matter how bad I wanted to, you wouldn't let me. You wouldn't make it easy. You wouldn't let me give up no peace. You wouldn't let me give up no lesser load. You wouldn't let me give up. I felt teased and tortured by you and life. I couldn't fight it. I couldn't hide from it. I couldn't run from it. I couldn't transfer or return to sender. Like I said, I was never in control, never had the final say. After you've done all you can, just stand. I ain't have nan stand left in me, period. 3 years in hell and torture, no break, no relief. I could either continue to be consumed by the brokenness, despair, and defeat, or just give in to the master. I open my heart. I open my mouth. I commune with you, spirit to spirit, an unending invitation to the deepest depths of my soul. So that is the last poem that I am going to read. I thank you guys for listening. Take time out of your schedule. The book, Icebox, Rebound and Recover, is available now. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it directly from my site, RamonMarquisOfficial.com. For those who like ebook, it is available for Kindle. And for any Apple users, it is on iBooks as well. So yeah, that's that. Another podcast episode on Wednesday. And yeah, this has been amazing. Is there any questions about any poem or any questions about anything?
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for the invitation and sharing, how I feel about, people diving deep and going into themselves to share their words. So I'm just grateful and thankful and very happy to be in that number.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Bree. Sandra, what you asking me? Absolutely, fool. Absolutely, Sandra. You're welcome to Kwanda. Thank you, Jakira. Thank you, Kareem, Tanisha, Kwanda, Shanice, Carlisha, Shawnee, and Zandra. Bree, I really appreciate all of y'all. And Mika. I think we got Mika down here in the bottom corner. So, how do we get an autograph? Okay, so Shanice, if you get it through my website, buy the book through my website, RamonMarquisOfficial.com, then I will sign copies and send it to you. So yeah, you can get it autographed that way. Don't buy it through Amazon because of course it'll come directly to you. Just buy it through my website and I'll make sure that you get an autographed copy that way. Thank you for those words, Sandra. Oh, let me go through, let me see some of these questions. Okay, so Kareem, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shawnee, you have 1, 2. Shawnee, you have, I think you're missing something. Shawnee, you have 6. 7, because you said Rihanna. I will not take no road trip. Kareem. Xander, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alicia, you have 1, 2. That's crazy. You got all 4 Alicia. What with the 4 counters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Alicia and Sandra have, it looks like 9. She has 1, 2, 3. Shanice has 10. 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now it's Shanice. Jakira, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tanisha, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have a tie. First of all, Shanice, you won with the 10, so you'll get the gift card. We have a tie between, who I said, Xandra and Carlisha. Xandra and Carlisha. I'm thinking that's a good question. Xandra and Carlisha. I won't hold everybody, but I'll text y'all to a tiebreaker. Actually, you know what? No. I will send both you guys autographed copies of my book. Xandra, I think you have some, so let me know which ones you don't have. And then Carlisha, I'll send you all 5 books. Lord, I missed the whole contest of my Shout out to Quanda. Yeah. Yeah, Shanice won. Shanice got the 10. All right, so I won't hold you guys any longer. Once again, thank you, thank you. And if you have any questions about the book or anything else, you guys know how to reach me. And nothing but love. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye, people.